Hey ladies, it's me, Keisha. Welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did my YouTube background. I'm also going to be showing you guys how I make my bedroom, my YouTube studio at the same time, and just how they function together. So if you guys would like to see me transform my YouTube background and just how I make it work inside my smaller bedroom, then just keep on watching. I had three things in mind when I was doing this project, and the first one was functionality. I wanted it to function properly. If you look at the before, I had the dresser up against the window, and that was obviously my designated YouTube area. And the bed, instead of the headboard being at the head of the bed, I pushed the headboard up against the wall, and I just had the bed set up like a day bed, so the side of it was against the headboard. And although it looked pretty good to me, it wasn't functioning properly when I was sleeping, because when I would go to sleep, my head would always be falling and I would wake up with back pain. So although it worked for YouTube, it didn't work for my everyday life. And so it wasn't really functioning properly. Secondly, because... One second, guys. Hold on. Also, because the bed was still so close to the dresser, even with it being sideways, it was times when I wanted like a full body view, how you can see my head and my full top body. I couldn't do that. It had to stop right here, or it would either cut off my head or somewhere down here. I couldn't really do that because it was too close to me. And so it just wasn't functioning. So what I ended up doing is I took the bed and I pushed it the opposite way on the close to the window, but I pushed it against the wall so that way it's kind of off to the side. So I can still put the headboard the way it's supposed to go, so it's functioning for sleep. I also have it up against the wall, which I prefer to sleep up against the wall. So that worked out perfectly for me for everyday life and just my sleeping environment. And then I went ahead and I took the dresser and put it on this main wall, which worked out perfectly because now I have a designated wall for decorating when it comes to my YouTube background. Also, it was times when the sun would be up or down and, would be messing with the lighting. And I would try to fix it when I'm editing, but because the white walls, I couldn't really play with the editing as much. The lighting as much in it, because if I tried to make it darker, then it would make the wall seem blue almost. So if I try to make it lighter, it will make it too bright to where it looks weird. I have now this open space, so I have a mirror over there on the wall, and I also have a plain wall right here, so the space is like longer. That way I can, do my try on hauls full body, and you can see me from one side of the room to the other. And because nothing is in the way of this, the bed is on that side and the dresser is far to the side away, I can kind of have a longer space without having to, move anything around. It's just perfect for sleeping, YouTube sit down videos, and try on haul. So everything worked out perfectly. And then I can have the camera set up off to the side, and when I'm ready to film, I can just push it up. The second thing I had in mind was aesthetics. I wanted the space to be aesthetically pleasing. Before, it was a lot of white, just because like I said before, the dresser was white, the background was white, everything was just so white. And so it was making it look the goal was making it look a little too childish and girly and not modern, grown, and sexy. Now that the white dresser wasn't up against the white curtains, I figured I can have more fun with the background. So I went ahead and got some black contact paper. I made sure I took some Clorox wipes and wiped all the dirt and the oils off the wall first. That way the contact paper was able to stick without falling. And so now that I had the black wall, the white dresser, the handles, and the pictures up, it was time to focus on the dresser decor. I liked the decor before, it just that everything just seemed so tiny behind me. And so I wanted everything to just be more grand. So the first thing I did was replace these white vase. If you remember this white vase, I did this with clay paint and baking soda, and that can be found in my last YouTube background video. I'll have it linked in the cards if you want to go check it out. But I went ahead and replaced those because they just look so tiny up against there, and I wanted something more massive. And so I went with these cream vase. They also have a very fun texture on it. And so I went with that vase on each side. I also went ahead and got this statue. And this statue, I wanted it to be a different color from the vase, but not too different. And I felt like if it was a different color, it wouldn't be as, symmetrical and matchy-match. And it also played out of the cream and the beige in the picture. And because the picture was kind of dark colors, it was important that I pop out the cream and the beige on the dresser. That way it's dark and it's light up against dark. But on this side, because that picture was just doing too much and this one was more simple, it just had black in it. And so it's important to me to bring out the black since the cream was so heavy. I wanted the black to come, be brought out some. So I went ahead and got these black candle holders. But I didn't want it too dark, so I went ahead and kind of got these brown candles in it. And I felt like it was just perfect because it still tied into the picture on this side. And so it made it, still different, but symmetrical enough so that my OCD won't be driven crazy. But at the same time, it made it, different and kind of tie in all the colors together. And so I did the candles, which was the same brown in there, kind of a little different, but close enough. And then I went with the black candles to play off the black in that picture. And of course the same pampas grass. But yeah, it was important to me that the dark, light, cream, bright, black. And so I just try to play with all the colors to make it symmetrical, but at the same time not to make it too matchy to where it's just look, not that fun. And just I didn't want to go from too much gold and white to kind of come with too much cream on top of cream. So I kind of, wanted it to be perfect for me. I also went ahead on and replaced this small gold ball with a giant black one because I did like the ball. I just felt like I wanted it to be bigger. I went ahead on and kept these 2 books for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to remove it in the long run, but for right now, I still like them. And I went ahead on and just put this cream candle in the inside of it just because it was extra. And yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. And so yeah, I just love what I did with the background. Let me know what kind of small adjustments you guys think I should make or how it can be improved in any way possible. I'm very open. Just leave your comments in the comment section. Just be kind to me. Be kind, okay? You can say it nicely without being rude, but let me know what y'all would do differently and how y'all feel like this space can just be leveled up that much more. The third, final, and most important thing I wanted was convenience. I wanted it to be convenient for my everyday life, but at the same time still convenient for YouTube. And so by this dresser being on this own wall right now and not having as much stuff on it, if I'm not filming and I'm kind of just, relaxing in my bed, because the bed is right across me, I can just take my TV and put it right here without moving any of my background. And that way, when I start filming, I can just go ahead and take the TV and put it right back on the side. And so it's just a one-step movement. Also, the stool that I'm sitting on, that's usually up against the wall with nothing on it. So when I'm getting ready to film, all I have to do is walk over here, take the TV, put it to the side, take the bench and put it right in front of me. That way it's super convenient. So just with those 2 steps, I've already set the room up for filming. And because the bed isn't really close to the dresser, I can push the camera back as much as I want with still, kind of seeing my whole body. Because once before, because the dresser was so close to the bed, I would have to, if I wanted to push the camera back, I would have to take the mattress off of the bed. And that way just put 2 of the legs on the floor and then make the 3rd leg shorter so that it can sit on the box spring. So that I would have to take the mattress, flip it up against the headboard so that the leg can fit on the box spring. And then I would have to work extra hard to balance it out and make sure it wasn't sideways when I was filming. And that alone was just a process. It's just way too much of a headache. It wasn't convenient at all. And so I would have to sacrifice either being really, really close to the camera where you guys barely can see me, or if I wanted it to look, a little further back, then I would have to work harder to do it. And then because the window is kind of, facing me now, I can use that sunlight. And then I also have my ring light sunlight, and I also have my tall light for when I'm standing up. So I feel like the natural sunlight works with my cameras to give me more light on my face. As opposed to before, because I was facing the light, it would always be dark and I would have to play with the lighting. And I find myself trying to film during the same time every single day just to make sure that the lighting was good. So if the sun was, not shining that bright that day, I would have to play with the lighting and the camera settings to make it work for the same way it did before. And it just was such a headache. But now that the lighting faces me now, I can just adjust my ring light bright or low to still give me the same look I want. And I will much rather adjust the ring light than to have to open the curtains a little bit, close it this much, it just was a headache just trying to make the lighting, you know, on my face perfectly and not too bright on my face. Also, now let's say it's too light on my face, I can adjust the lighting in the editing software to make it darker or lighter so that it shows my face closer to my actual skin color, as opposed to before, if I tried to adjust it because I was in front of a white background, it would be impossible because it would change the color of the background as well. And now that it's black, it's just like, even if it makes it light black compared to dark black, it still works. And so I just feel like it makes me the focal point, you know, because it's a black wall and it's not so bright. So it just works out perfectly as far as lighting, as far as the functioning of the room. And it just makes it so much more convenient. I am almost at 500 subscribers. So please just subscribe, like the video, share the video. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Mwah.